I had a fellowship. I'd go anywhere in the country. And when I got my PhD at MIT, one of the reasons I chose Berkeley was because Julia Robinson was at Berkeley. And part of my thesis related to work she had done. It had combined algebra and logic, and Julia had combined algebra and logic, and one of her papers was something that was always on my desk. So when I had the chance to go to Berkeley, I thought that would be great to come here. And when I got to Berkeley, you see, I thought she was on the faculty. Everybody who knew about Julia thought she was on the faculty at Berkeley because she'd always sign her papers, Julia Robinson, Berkeley, California. Yeah, so she's at Berkeley, right? She's famous, she's at Berkeley. And when I got here, I was totally shocked that Julia was not on the faculty, and in fact had never been a regular faculty person. She had come back as lecturers here and there when they needed somebody, but she wasn't on the faculty. And that to me was like an eye-opener. I remember asking that same head of the department, name will be nameless now, who told me my job here as lecturer was competitive with an assistant professor at Yale. So when I asked why Julia wasn't on the faculty, he didn't give me nepotism. He said, well, we do, we only take the top people in the field, and here are 10 people, actually I can name off the bat, who we think are better than Julia. They told me that. And I think they didn't respect her work because her work was actually very novel. And she was combining logic with mathematics, with number theory. And that was applied logic. And at that time, at least when I came to Berkeley, they were into pure logic, large cardinals and so forth. So she didn't fit into that mold. So they had ways of not respecting, I believe, her work. And so she didn't have the advantage of being there. If you're not at the table, you're not at the table. So why wasn't she at the table? Why didn't they realize this woman is doing amazing work? She proves things that were quite opposite of even Alfred Tarski's intuition. So what is it? So it's partly they don't really believe deep and down. Partly there's the old boys network. Well, we want to just be our group. Partly it's the social situation. How do they explain to their wives that there's this woman at the table with them? But I think mainly the non-respect of the work that women had done and the value. I think that was a root cause of a lot of things.